Hi, Warren. How are you?
I'm good, Rachel. How are you?
I'm doing great. To start, nothing is more terrifying than seeing based on a true story before a horror movie. Really just kind of puts you in a
True.
mindset right out
True.
the gate. For you, what was the biggest challenge about, bringing a story to life while still trying to shock and terrify audiences, but having it based on something that is very, very real?
Well, I mean, you really do have to, pay respect to, the authenticity of the story that you're honing in on, and then try and balance that, like you said, to the fact that this is an entertainment product. This is meant to thrill people, to get their hearts racing, and to, be an enjoyable, movie going experience, right?
Mhm.
And I think for us, Sharon and I, it was really about um, tying in the true story of and rooting the audience with the point of view of Annie Williams, and allowing her story to kind of unfold with us so that the audience is really rooted with her. So if she doesn't see the guy's face, then the audience wouldn't see the guy's face. And whatever she experienced, the audience would experience. And we really didn't know anything about the serial killer in her world at all. And from a tension standpoint, we did bring in elements of the other victims that fell victim to the serial killer, but that was really more of just kind of bringing in those elements and the events that did happen, and paying nod to those victims without glorifying it in any way.
And you also get to have, Sean Astin
Oh
and
yeah,
Ali Larter in the movie, which I think anytime, especially Sean Astin's in a movie, I'm fully on board. Does not matter what it is.
Sean.
But
Yeah,
sorry, go
Sean.
on.
I was gonna say Sean. I mean, yeah. I mean, I kind of fumble over myself to talk about Sean because he's such a cinematic legend, and he's such a kind and generous soul to have on set. And he's also an accomplished director. So just having his kind of sense of calm on an indie film like this that is going to have times where we got to like clip along and get through these scenes, and sometimes you don't always have time to explore the scenes as fully as you want to because you got to make your day. Just having his presence on set was for me almost in a mentor sort of way as my first scripted directorial experience.
Mhm. Oh,
uh,
and I want to ask. Oh,
oh
sorry, go ahead.
well, I just wanted to talk about Ali for a second too
Yeah.
because that woman, there's nothing that woman can't do. She is so wickedly talented. And though, she's sort of condensed into, a parental kind of a secondary parental role in this film, she's also an EP on it. And I think it was important for her that that this film get made. And so having her support in the film as an EP and then bringing her talents to the film just meant a lot to me as a director and a writer of this to and just know that like we had that kind of support from her. But she's just such a collaborator, and just a ultimate professional. I can't say enough kind things about her.
When I want to ask a dumb question
There are no
is
dumb questions.
what do you think it is about white vans? Because for whatever reason, white vans are like the quin like don't own a white van. I
So that
feel like.
well, you're about to say the quintessential sort of mark or symbol of fear, and they are, and the reason why is because of stories like this. Like
Mhm.
what drew me to the story was not just connecting with a survivor, but in doing the research and finding out that this is truly one of the major origin stories of why it is that we fear white vans 50 years later. There
Mhm.
it's sort of become like a trope now, but there's a very real and scary reason why that is.
Yeah. I truly was like, I didn't know where it came from. And so it's very interesting to see this and like see the real life white van of it all because it's in media, it's everywhere. But with something like this, where you said like you are honoring the victims while also like making something that is for entertainment purposes and for people to kind of enjoy themselves, what was the biggest challenge of finding that balance? Because I feel like it is a balance that is has been notoriously hard to reach for a lot of films.
I think the biggest part of it is, and for me, like I enjoy theater. I love a good gory horror film.
Mhm.
Terrifier 3, whatever, right? Like I love a good, just crazy film like that in the genre. But at the same time, for me, directorially, I love playing in that theater of the mind where what you don't know, what you don't see can sometimes be scarier than actually seeing it, right? And I think for a film like this, it's important not to get into the gory details, because then you start glorifying what the killer did instead of staying kind of on the victim's side of the fact is they disappeared. They went missing. And these are the circumstances in which it happened. And this was what was, kind of lurking around it when it occurred. So I think as long as we sort of stay on that path, then we put ourselves in a position, just as filmmakers, to tell a story that we're still telling a true story and also a piece of entertainment at the same time.
Well, thank you so much for talking with me today. I really appreciate it. And I can't wait for everyone to get to see the film.
Oh, thanks. I appreciate it, Rachel.
Oh, thank you.